Come on, Fizzy.
everything's working perfect. I think, again, typical warehouse fashion, or Simple Signals fashion anyway. Something went wrong before the stream. The mic wasn't configured correctly, and I was making sure the audio was sounding good. But regardless, welcome back to another Simple Signals stream. And I'm a bit perplexed, right? It's been a bit crazy. I didn't call it last stream, but I did say if Bitcoin goes up, how it could do something crazy. Nothing will be right. Lo and behold, we've had a pretty crazy day. As some of you, if you've only just woken up right now, 10 minutes before the stream, you might not know what's going on. But if you've been awake more than maybe 20 minutes throughout the day, you might know what's going on. You can also see on the screen right now, 60,586. Apparently, Mike on, I don't know if it was yesterday's stream, today's stream, in the morning at some point, he called like 60,800, and lo and behold, it's the chart's pretty crazy. So I'm quite excited to get into basically going over what we just covered basically on Monday, seeing how wrong it was, and trying to keep a up in the air again, like how Monday was. It's going to be a bit of an up in the air stream in terms of the analysis because of how crazy the price has been moving. Things have been kind of rapid, so it'd be quite hard to find some sort of pattern or something to analyze when the price has been moving so crazy. But we're going to try anyways. Hopefully, we can make some sense out of what the hell's happened. So regardless, I think that's about it. I've got all the chats open everywhere I need to be. So welcome to everybody. Mohammed, hello to you. Kishan, you're here. So hello, all the people who are regulars. Obviously, if you joined us for the first time, welcome to the stream. Hopefully you enjoy. Consider subscribing, following. Check the descriptions as well, wherever you're watching. Check the description. Very useful links in there. Do check that out. And before I go into it, please put any coins you want me to cover during this stream, because I'll cover the regulars like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. And then as we go on through the stream, I'll start to cover things. If anyone wants me to cover a coin you want, then put it in the comments. Put it a couple of times, make sure I see it, and I might just look at some random coins I've kind of want to look at on stream. But we're going to start off with the usual, and then we'll go on to coins you want me to look at, and give you enough time to have a look. So if you do, I've basically long-winded way of saying if you want me to cover a coin, please do put it in the chat. So without further ado, I think we're going to go on. We're quickly going to look at CoinMarketCap, just to see some percentages, just to see some general prices, just to see what's going on, and then we're going to go on to the public shame of me, because it's been wrong, and it's been wrong pretty hard. So we will get into it. So Bitcoin, $60,300. We broke 60,000. We broke many things. All right, we broke my charts. Probably broke quite a lot of everyone else's other charts. I think we also broke. Who were they? I can't remember. Some website completely shut down. Some crypto exchange shut down completely, which is pretty funny. And everyone's kind of memeing on that. So a lot of things have been broken recently during today, due to the fact that everything's been absolutely skyrocketing. Obviously, if Bitcoin's doing something crazy, we're going to see everything else do something crazy. So I'm not very surprised. We'll get into it. I think, to be fair, Bitcoin has had a huge move. But I'm looking at the Ethereum Solana price, and it's not looking too crazy. I mean, they're still good prices, but it's not looking like it's moved somewhat crazy. Like Solana, it doesn't seem like it's really moved too rapid. So the TA should be pretty good from Monday till now. So we will get into it there. So what I do want to check, if you have watched a couple of the streams, you will know me looking at Thorchain. My typical thing I look at, it's kind of a joke. On the streams, I look at Thorchain, see how it's doing the percentages, and we're actually down 2 times on the 1 hour and the 24 hour, 2% and 1.1%. Obviously, that's probably because we've had a huge move upwards to Bitcoin, and we're starting to come down a bit. Obviously, we're not going to retract all the way down to where we were, but we should see some sort of coverage. I think we did. I think we took out all the shorts and then all the longs pretty much with the Bitcoin movement. So I think it was 60,300. Obviously, we've ended up a bit higher, as I was saying, but I think obviously we'll get into it. I can't remember the exact price of the highest we saw for Bitcoin during today. We will have a look at it. But we basically just liquidated pretty much everybody everywhere, all around the world. So I'm not surprised we've seen a bit of a downturn for most things due to the fact we had such a high move upwards, and we're gonna have some sort of retractment. But other than that, I think that's pretty much it. I don't really care about anything else, any other percentages. So I think we'll get on to Bitcoin. as our first thing. There we go. Okay, it's actually my chart for once. Okay, so it's basically, it's not done anything of what I said. So I drew a line downwards because I thought we were going to bounce something, and we were. You know, we were hovering at this price point for a while now, and you know, I thought we were going to go down a bit because of, you know, we've been going up for so long. We haven't really seen you know, from loading this chart, my whole computer just started lagging. But you know, we've seen this positive movement for the entire time, and then we start to slow down at this price point. Obviously, the TA on Monday, we covered it all, but you know, I said, well, from what I reckoned with the TA, that we should have seen some sort of movement downwards for Bitcoin, and lo and behold, we haven't. In terms of looking at market cipher, let me try and line it up. So you know, as the TA was on Monday, we were seeing, you know, we were very high above in our momentum. You know, we were heavily, you know, overbought. You know, we should have seen some sort of retractment by now. Obviously, you know, this is based on the chart, and I just look at the charts, but obviously based on simple economics in terms of supply and demand. You know, I believe the figures are like 9,000 Bitcoins being bought. I don't know. I think it might have been a day. I'm not too sure, but 900 being made. So the outweigh of what's being bought, the demand versus supply, hasn't really been shown in the price action or in the current price. You know, as you can see, we've been hovering, you know, for the entire time. All the time that we've had, you know, 10 times as more being bought than made, we've been hovering at the same price point. So it's about time that we see our price reach, you know, where we should be in terms of a simple supply and demand, because it needs to be at an equilibrium, because that's how, you know, it's simply economics works. You know, you can't have the price be so low when it's being bought up so much. You know, there's some disparity going on. But you know, the charts and market cipher is telling us we should have seen a retractment based on everything being equal, and that's kind of, you know, the ceteris paribus situation of indicators. Is indicators go on data based on the fact that it is, you know, nothing's happening in the news. But you know, we can see, and I always like to look at this. If something's going on with the price, you can kind of see it when you have these red dot, green dot type of situation. I've explained this, or I've talked about this, you know, a couple of times before on different TA streams, when you see this kind of either slow upwards or a hoverage of the momentum, but you see like the momentum wave cross multiple times. Clearly something's going on externally, and obviously there is something going on externally, which is this just complete, you know, void of price movement based on how much is being bought up. But you know, regardless, we have gone up, so I'm going to move this down, and I have a feeling there's going to be a lot less, you know, of me looking at you know, market cipher and data like that. It's going to be kind of, you know, scrolling back to see previous high points, and then kind of theorizing where we're going to see the price go to, because you know, the market cipher is kind of unreliable when it comes to movement like this, because you know, it's not made to look for, you know, manipulations in terms of external price action or external price you know, interaction with Bitcoin. So I think the best course of action is probably to go back to see previous highs of the price. So we can see, you know, we kind of have this here. I might draw a box, I'm not sure. I'll probably just draw an array. So we can kind of see we've got this price point here, where we saw this kind of bounce off, and then we had this wick here. This is on the week. We had this wick here, which also bounced off this price. So this looks like a price, you know, we've kind of already seen, you know, twice. Obviously, we're so high right now. We're very close to, you know, the highest point we've seen for Bitcoin. That, you know, there's going to be consistent area. It's not like we crabbed a certain area for a long period of time where there's consistent support and resistance points. You know, we've only really seen this high point, you know, like it wasn't as high over here, you know, 2021, but we kind of only have really 2 points where we were high, or going towards 69,000. So the best we can look at is 2 points where we hit a you know, a significant price. You know, one being the price point I've pointed out at 64,332, and then there's this price point where we retracted to twice at 65 and a half. So we've got 2 price points here. I'll probably keep more of these price points down here. It might be, I might delete this one. They're basically the same price point. I think one was based on fib levels, and one was based on actual price action, which was here. So I'll try and keep it a bit simpler. But like I was saying, I can only really go off small price points. Obviously, we are going to break this all-time high at some point. So what I'm drawing right now, we're going to see resistance there, but all in all, in the long term, we're going to be breaking all these prices. So it depends on how you're trading cryptocurrency. If you're going over the long term, or if you're doing like leverage trading, futures. If you're doing it over the long term, you might as well just buy now. Obviously, you'd want to get in as cheap as possible because it maximizes your profits. But realistically, you could just buy right now. It doesn't really matter because it's going to absolutely, because whatever I believe it's like 6 weeks in terms of what the price is when the halving occurs. 4 times the price. Mike's going over it a bunch of times. You can ask him on stream as well. He'll probably give a better explanation of it. But when there's when we hit the halving, whatever price we're going to be at, it's roughly going to be a 4 times multiplication. But there's other calculations, which is what the price needs to go to sufficiently fill in the demand we are currently seeing. Due to the fact that we're not producing anywhere near enough Bitcoin for the market to be fulfilled in terms of how much we're buying. So there's multiple things you can look at, but all in all, over the long term, it doesn't really matter as long as you buy now. But we're kind of more looking at the shorter term in terms of where we can go. I'm going to completely ignore EMAs or anything because none of the data-based indicators are going to help us here. We're gonna have to go off previous highs and lows because there's nothing which is really caught up. Because all indicators which isn't based on prices exactly are going to be lagging indicators. You're not going to find an indicator which is going to immediately update with the price. The closer you are to get to reading the price, like the volume weighted average price, for example, which one we have, as I describe it, it is very rapid. However, it does help in some regard when looking at market cipher. It's that is based purely on the price, so it will update faster, but it doesn't really matter. You don't just want to look at the volume weighted average price just for to trade off of. But I've kind of yapped on about nothing there. I've kind of really said something which is understood as something general anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I'm trying to find any other price points. Well, what I could probably understand to see is we've kind of got this price point as well at 61.5. You see, we kind of retracted here multiple times. Now, why I'm pointing this out is because of the high points we've seen for 64, 33, whatever, was where we saw our maximum wick reach twice, and obviously the third time right now. But this lower line at 61.5 is we actually, when we retracted, is the price we retracted to. As you can see, 3 times here. This is 3 weeks of retracting to this price point. Obviously, we bounced off it as well over here. But this is a retraction price. So this is where our price stayed at and printed at multiple times. And this is over the week as well. So it's not like it's printed on the 5-minute where it's just like a chance-based thing. This is on the weeks. So this is like we've consistently stayed at this price, for long periods of time. So I could imagine 61.5 being where we could print at. So, in terms of the highest movement we can see, obviously not the highest movement forever, but in terms of, we could probably maximum see ourselves print here. But I don't want to put anything set in stone. That's not set in stone because anything can happen right now. Because, even like I said on Monday, all the TA I did, if Bitcoin moves crazy, like I said it could do, all the TA I would do is going to be invalidated. So, like I said, a couple minutes ago, these price points aren't something to consider in the long term in terms of, oh, yeah, we're going to bounce off it and never see this price ever again. It's just something to pay attention to in the shorter term for the Bitcoin action. So I'm going to move down to the 1 hour now, probably, just to try and find some sort of trend. So 61.5, the thing I drew, we didn't quite bounce off it. Where we bounced off was 62.5. I don't think, if I go to the 4 hour, oh no, I'll go to the day actually, that's probably more in depth. And it allows us to actually see what's going on. So we can see here as well. So now that we've kind of zoomed in a bit, we can actually see that 63.2 is also a price point we saw. So we can see we bounced off it here and retracted to it multiple times here. This was kind of also a retraction point. There's a lot of lines, there's a lot of areas which are quite hard. There's so many areas within the high points to try and pick one solid one out. So I'm going to have to draw this one as well because we did see it consistently. So it's a bit messy. I don't like drawing this many lines. It hurts me, but I'm going to have to do it anyway. So let's go back to the 1 hour and actually go to where we are. So these other prices. So this is where we hit basically our wick at, obviously missing about $300. this price point at 63 was one of the previous price points. 61.5 was where we saw ourselves print at and stay below for 3 weeks. So this is, I'm going to change the color. I'm going to color code it so we know which one's which. I'll make it green. This one was the highest point we saw our wick go to multiple times over. And these two are kind of just different price points. So I'm going to kind of color code it so we can know what's going on. I'm not going to write it down or anything. So the green point is where we retracted to for 3 weeks straight. We wicked above it, but we stayed below this price point numerous times. So I'm going to pay attention to this more so. These two purple are kind of just in there, where we'll see midpoint kind of resistance or support at. The main two lines are going to be the green one and the red one, for me anyway. So in terms of where we're going right now, I would love to say we're just going to go down to 57.8, but we're not going to go down. We're probably not going to go down straight down to the point we saw in terms of we're not going to go down all the way to the previous point, which was basically when I covered last about 55. But we could see something, maybe 60,000 could probably be something considerable because it's a big number. I might draw 60,000 here. Here we go, 60,000. Make that, I don't know, yellow. Okay, there we go. So, we have our symbol significance telling us this price point at 57.5. This is our support point, which it was resistance, but it's now our support point. We bounced off it, multiple times. I did draw a line there on Monday, but I don't think we'll go. I don't know if we'll go that low. As we can see, we did see this price. There's so many lines. I really hate this. You know what? Let me draw a box. Actually, a box will be better. This to about 60,000. There we go. Okay, so the top line of this being 60,000. This is going from 59, similar to how Solana from 99 to 100. Similar kind of situation we talk about going from 59.9 to 60,000 is huge. So this is obviously going to be quite a strong support point for Bitcoin because we talk about it quite often. You will have data-based support points and resistance points, but then when you have round numbers, that is a kind of an emotional support resistance point. So I do want to point that out, being on the upper end of the box and the lower end of the box being this price point we did bounce off of during basically today, basically 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. today. This is where we kind of hovered over. Obviously, we absolutely broke it, but that price point at 59.5 is basically where we saw actual resistance. Going between 57.9, because 57.9 is quite far away in terms of we have to go really far down. But it's the closest point we actually saw price-based resistance. Before we reached where we were up here. So this is kind of where I see the price going to in max. I don't think we're going to retract all the way back down. Even if we retracted all the way below this box, we do have this support point down here. So the max we could probably see is about a 4% move down, but I don't know if that's going to be very likely. So we'll see. When we go into price discovery, what should we do? It is quite rapid. I mean, when we go to price discovery, it's more so. If you normally look at indicators, it's quite a lot harder to look at indicators when we're in this sort of situation when we're trying to test different supports and resistances. What I try, and this is what I'm doing right now, is I'm not really looking at market cipher too much. I might look at money flow because it's more of a general longer term thing. Symbol significance isn't something special. It's just support and resistance points. It's just a dynamically drawn thing. So these are general things based on price. I wouldn't look at the VWAP because it's too rapidly moving. It doesn't really matter. Momentum is a bit too crazy to look at, especially since we've been manipulated. In a sense that it hasn't really followed how the momentum wave suggested we should have followed. So the only thing I'd really look at, personally anyway, would be money flow. But if I was any other person, if I was you, looking for, what should you do in a price discovery situation, is just look at previous highs and lows and just try and find support and resistances based on price action. Because it's safer to go based off price action than anything else, really. There's not really a magical indicator to tell you if it's going to go up or down. So my advice would be looking for, if you're trying to trade within this current situation we're in, you're not like a long-term trader, it would be trying to find support and resistance points. So, that is, having your kind of criteria being, is it an emotional number? Like I said, with 60,000, we basically bounced off 60,000 right now. We're coming back up. So it's bouncing off 60,000. That's an emotional number. Previous points where we, kind of bounced off, this is going to be a support point. 59.5 is a support point. Like, I'm pretty confident in that. How strong it is a different story. And that's kind of, what it is finding support and resistance and how strong it is. Because in this sort of situation, there's no magical indicator to just guide, hold your hand through this. So it's the basic, analysis of it is going to be, what is a support and resistance point, and how strong is it going to be? So emotional numbers, they're pretty strong. 60,000 is pretty strong, but it's not going to be as strong as an actual price point. So Kishan 59.5, yeah, I agree. 59.5 is going to be a support point. So 60k is kind of we'll see some sort of hovering like we are right now. We just came down to 60,000 and now we're going back up again. We're kind of hovering, but it's not going to be something, it's not that strong. So I wouldn't be surprised if we came below. But I think 59.5 is a lot stronger than 60,000. I don't think, I don't know if we'll have that sort of movement, like a 4%. I don't know if we'll move that far below, considering how, considering the simple supply and demand and the simple economics of how Bitcoin is at right now, considering the fact how much Bitcoin is being bought up versus how much is being produced, and how the prices, interacting with that data, I still think, we're not going to go down that far based on that assumption. And we're kind of in this, like, it's like the end of the beginning. Like, we're actually in this huge price movement right now. So as I was saying with support and resistance, and the price continuation based on the data of the economic data, I still think we have movement upwards. So I don't really think we're going to see a huge movement downwards right now, because we're basically, because we had a huge movement upwards, and now we're having a huge movement downwards. So liquidations are going to be occurring. So when the whole basically market gets refreshed, we'll probably see some more longs and continuation of going upwards. So I still think we have room to go upwards, and that's why I'm kind of looking at the upper end rather than the lower end. But I still think we're gonna hover at this area right now. Obviously, 60,000 isn't going to be a clear-cut support zone. That's why you have kind of 2% movements. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was like kind of like this. There we go. So we'll have an area like this as our support point. So it's not going to be exactly 60,000, but I think 60,000 is roughly going to be where we see support. But 59.5 is going to be our support point. Of anything, I think it will be a strong support point. So I think 61.5 is, what did I say it was? Oh, I should have written it down. For our 61, I think it was the long-term support point where we retracted to. Yeah, that's what it was. So it was resistance where we retracted to it instead of it being a wick. So it was consistent price point where we stayed below. So I think 61.5 is a very strong resistance point for Bitcoin. So in terms of long, I mean, it's quite hard to say, what time frame I'm talking about, because as we were talking about, we're in this discovery of price situation where we haven't found a good equilibrium. We haven't found a good support point where we're going to stay at. We're moving very rapidly, so it's hard for me to say these resistance points are going to be really long term or medium term or short term, because I don't know. The price could immediately wick back up to hit these resistance points and break them. So it's hard to say, but I don't think these are going to be broken within the next couple hours. But I think they're going to be considerable price points over the kind of, maybe, I don't know, it's hard for me to say, over a couple of days maybe. I do think they are going to be considerable. I mean, there's not really much more for me to talk about Bitcoin. I do think we're probably going to bounce off this point here, but we could fall under. So I think worst case it would be we kind of come down to that point and go upwards. Let me actually draw this properly. There we go. I think worst case scenario is coming down to either the midpoint or 59.5 or something in this area, and then going back upwards again. But as nothing can go down forever, and nothing can go up forever. We've had 4 really strong wicks or candles of going downwards. I'm not this isn't some magical thing. We should see some sort of movement upwards. But even if I was to look at market cipher, it's just very market cipher assumes we should come back down to like 57, 56, 8. It assumes that, you know, with this money flow, how it's going upwards, market cipher doesn't understand what sort of economical situation Bitcoin's in. So it's going to tell us, oh, we should be so much lower than we are right now. But we just have to bear in mind, you know, we're smarter than market cipher. Obviously, market cipher gives us data and it graphs it for us, and it kind of, you know, gives us, you know, kind of tips like, oh, it's a red dot where momentum's changing. You might want to look for shorts, but it doesn't understand, you know, it doesn't read Google, it doesn't read the news. You know, we're going to know more than market cipher, and we know that we're going to bounce off 60,000. You know, it's not going to tell us that, but we know that. So I think that's it for Bitcoin. I've yapped on. I think 60,000 will be a support point. If not, 59.5 will be our support point. So the max will fall. So it'll either be this kind of situation. I'll make that like red and make this blue or something. So I think this is kind of, you know, I don't know how strong 60,000 is going to be. We're kind of up in the air right now, like I said. But I have really yapped on now. It's been like 30 minutes, so I'm going to move on now. But I normally, you know, I say the same thing every single stream. But I always say, I wouldn't be surprised if is one of them. But the other one is I don't spend a lot of time on these, so it doesn't matter. But okay, so what's happened? So I said it would have this sort of situation. Okay, so what I said was we would kind of bounce like that and then come upwards to this 3,300 and then come down. But what actually happened was we came up and then we bounced and came down. And then we kind of came up again and bounced, and then we hovered, and then everything happened with the market, and we absolutely rocketed. And now we're back down and you know, but understandably, like things are happening with Ethereum and probably the majority of all the other coins I'm going to cover. It's not like it's happening directly to Ethereum, so it's not like it's going to constantly stay above 33k. So I'm not surprised that we've retracted down below this resistance point because it's not really meant to be. We should see higher prices, but I'm not surprised that we actually came back down to this 33,000 kind of resistance point. Where could we go for Ethereum? Well, if Bitcoin tears again, I think we'll just go up. What the hell happened there? Do that again. There we go. Make that white. There we go. So I think if Bitcoin goes up, chances to get 69,000. I'll have a look again. Because I think Bitcoin's kind of the main dog. That's why I normally cover Bitcoin more, because it's kind of like the main dog. It's what the most people are interested in. So looking at anything else is kind of like lesser. I could probably go back to Bitcoin, look at 69,000, see how likely. But I know that was a previous high point. We've got about, from what I've drawn, we've got about 4 resistance points up until that price point, I believe. So it's we've got a lot keeping us up. I might not go back, but we've got about 4 resistance points. 2 of them being not as strong as the other 2, but we do have some resistance. So chances to get there, we will get there eventually and beyond. There's no doubt about that. But in terms of how long, we will see some resistance before then. I don't think we'll see it within the next couple hours. I don't think we'll see it within the next couple days. I'm not sure. I can't really guide my judgment based on time frame because everything happens pretty crazy. Only 5k difference. I mean, as I was saying, like. It's definitely possible. I don't think it's going to happen within today. As I was saying, I don't think it's happening within today. Whether it happen over a couple of days, who knows? A couple of days for crypto is, things can happen very rapidly, especially with what's happened right now. Going from Monday to today, everything is basically broken, all of what I said. So, things can change really rapidly, even within 2 days, a day and a bit. So over the next couple of days, I wouldn't be surprised if it could happen. But I'd have to look at other things as well to really gauge it. But considering I've said this so many times, considering the situation with Bitcoin in terms of how much is being bought, it's like there's so much being bought that it doesn't know what to do. But eventually, it's going to have to catch up at some point. So we're going to have to go up so much more than we are right now. So we're going to see 69k eventually. But I'm trying to answer the question of when, which is very hard with crypto, especially with what's going on. It's very hard to say when exactly. But it will happen. The chances to get that, I think we have a guaranteed 99% chance of going to 69,000, 100%. I need some water. There we go. So Ethereum, if we go up, with Bitcoin crazy, will go up. You know, Ethereum's gonna stay above this 3,300. We're not too far away. We're literally $30 away. Like, I don't really think this is too crazy. You know, we probably will see resistance point, but looking back at, I could look at market life because it's not really too external. It tells us we're not too low on our momentum. You know, we're not too high on our momentum. It's not really. We're not completely overbought. Money flow's pretty high, and we're still kind of arcing upwards. VWAP's going upwards. So, you know, we're still positive for Ethereum. I think we're going to see, you know, one of these situations where we're kind of going to bounce off these little points here. Maybe even going to 33 and kind of coming down. So if Bitcoin doesn't go crazy anytime soon, you know, we'll probably hover at this point. We're quite high upwards right now. But I wouldn't be surprised, you know, eventually when we start to come down with some of these bets, VWAP is, well, to be fair, you know what? Everything is so crazy right now. Everything is contradicting itself. The VWAP is heavily negative. So, you know, it's not like we're really positive and that we should stay up. We still have room to go upwards. So we still have more positive movement to be had. So our VWAP could still go up more, which will be more bullish. Momentum could still go upwards. We're not too overbought, so we could go up more. So there's probably enough room for us to go upwards. So I wouldn't be surprised if we had, you know, maybe hovered for a tiny bit, but then broke upwards. I think eventually we will break above this, but I'm not surprised we saw resistance. I said on Monday we will see resistance at this price point. You know, especially here, we already bounced off it once. So like I said, I'm not surprised we saw resistance here. I drew the. Actually, was this actually printed on Monday? Was this high level actually printed? I actually don't know. I remember drawing the 3,300 one. I don't know if this high point was here. I'm not too sure. I can't remember. Regardless, 3,300 is definitely. You know, we've already kind of gone above it and came below it, so I wouldn't be surprised if we've kind of already dipped our toes above. So I wouldn't be surprised if it, you know, wouldn't be too hard for us to come above 3,300 for Ethereum, especially since that our VWAP is so low. We have a lot of room to go upwards, so there should be a big surge for Ethereum. But you know, again, if Bitcoin completely crashes, you know, things can always go wrong quite easily. But I think we probably should see ourselves go above Ethereum, you know, pretty soon. I don't think it's too hard to go back up again. In terms of where we would see ourselves have resistance, we have 3,600. I've already drawn that. We've got this previous point now, which has already been tested and came down. So, you know, thankful for that. We've actually got a previous high point. We've also got, you know, numerous price points here. You know, kind of bounced off this, came down, bounced off this, quickly tested above, but came down, bounced off it again. We've got 33.5 is a previous price point, again and again and again. So we've got those two price points. So, you know, I might draw this here, draw this here as well. But like I said, staying above this price point, it wouldn't be too hard for Ethereum. But, you know, even if we do fall down, we've got, you know, tons of stuff below us at 32 and a quarter, I suppose. So even if we came down, we'd only really come down, you know, 1.8%. So I think we might break this resistance point. So moving on to Solana. Now, when we looked at CoinMarketCap for Solana, it didn't actually look like anything crazy happened. Okay, so what's going on? That's really crazy, huh? That is crazy. So I drew this bearish breaker block ages ago. That is horribly accurate. Wow. Okay, so I drew this bearish breaker block ages ago. I drew this ages ago. No, it wasn't. It was a couple streams ago I drew this. Now, I want to point this out. I don't think this resistance point was drawn out from simple significance. So it was like this. I distinctly remember it being like this. I already drew it like this. Monday 26th was when I already drew. So our price was about here. So we were about here for the action. I think I said we'd go down, but clearly we didn't. Oh, we went up a bit and then went down. So we had one of those sneaky little, oh, nope, we're not actually going down just yet. We're going to go up and then down. So we kind of got tricked, but we did hit our breaker block. We basically ignored this support point. We're using it now. We basically broke this immediately. Came exactly to our breaker block by exactly everything, and then came all the way back down. And simple significance was also courteous to actually draw a support or resistance support point exactly on our breaker block. If I zoom in, it's literally padded by nothing. Like it's padded by, I don't know what I'm doing, but it's padded by like nothing. So basically our breaker block is where our resistance point is. So if I'm not the best, I don't know who is. So we came all the way above it. Obviously this was big, price surge. So, I don't think anyone's too surprised about that because basically every single coin has done this. It was, Bitcoin absolutely teared up. Everything was like, oh crap, things are going on, so we're going to go up. But everything else, which isn't Bitcoin, was like, well, this isn't happening to us. We're going to come back down again. So this was this was just a quick price movement upwards because Bitcoin was going up. But we just came straight back down. Nothing too crazy. Obviously, we had huge wicks all the way back down, but we've kind of found our middle ground now. So we've used 110, basically $111 as our support point. As we can see, we've basically bounced off it numerous times over here, throughout today in the afternoon. Used it again, but now we're kind of using our breaker block as our resistance point again. I'm trying to see because this kind of price point in the middle, or this price surge in the middle was, obviously it was quite artificial. So it's not like we broke our breaker block and are now using it as this bullish price point. So I don't know whether it's invalidated or not, but we are still staying quite accurately below the breaker block. So it's hard for me to say. I don't think we've invalidated it. I don't know because it was so external. But we broke it, we entered it, and then we broke back up again. So it's quite hard for me to say. But if we do keep it as our resistance point, we do kind of have this range as I can see it here before we either go break below or break upwards. But with how Bitcoin is right now, wouldn't be surprised if it went back up again. So we could see hoverage, within this range, and then breaking this price point. Max, I could see. We do have this previous point, which I've seemingly already drew a line at. Probably see that as resistance. If we even if we tested above it, the highest we'd see was 116. So there's not really too much higher. I mean, it's about 1%. So I think what we might see for Solana is we might hover. Obviously, these paths, I always try and preface this, they're not time-based. It's just a general movement. I'm just trying to display a crab, I suppose. So it's not really to suggest that we're going to spend, a day and a bit, or a day moving this way. It's just basically saying I think we're going to move across and then move upwards. So I think the movement for Solana, I think the play is we're going to kind of hover down here, maybe having an occasional wick or whatever moving like up or down. But I think we might stay in this area for a tiny bit. And then if Bitcoin absolutely tears upwards, probably moving upwards, pretty crazy, breaking this resistance point and actually having it as our support point then, because it'll be more natural. But in terms of looking at market cipher quickly, like I've said previously for pretty much every other coin, I don't want to look at market cipher too biblically, because there's been a lot of artificiality in terms of the price movement and subsequently the data which has been given to market cipher. So I'd basically just look at money flow because it's more important than anything else. We are going down, is positive, are going down, which has been reflected with since this point going downwards. Our price has been coming downwards. It's still going downwards. In the next print, which is in 15 minutes, it could start to come upwards again. But as I see it, we're still going downwards. So we still have negative movement downwards for Solana. But as I said, similar to how Bitcoin was with its 60,000, we are bouncing in and out of this breaker block area. So I think hovering in this area could be something we can see for Solana. I think I said similar for Ethereum. I always forget because there's so much greatness that it just kind of stays. Yes, it's a similar situation where I think we might hover at this top point. But similar with Solana, I think we could break above. Ethereum, like I said at the time, I wouldn't be. I think we could move up pretty decently. But moving on now, so I've covered Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. And that's kind of my main coins. I don't really have much. I can't remember what I covered yesterday. No, not yesterday. So Monday. I haven't seen a lot of coins. I have seen Dupe. I think Dupe's on here, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it is. I've already drawn. I think I do this. There you go. So yes, I have drawn before. Let me draw this across. I don't know what this is. An order block. Okay. How long? I can't remember how long ago I've drawn. Things right when you're on it all looks a bit crazy on the 1 hour. So looking at the order block, it does seem pretty accurate from when I drew it. I don't know when I drew it. I drew it over here. It seems pretty accurate. Obviously, we have had some big movement upwards, but we've kind of still kept it as our point of resistance. And if I draw this across, I think this is a fair value gap. Oh no, this is just resistance as well. We kind of didn't really use it as resistance, but our order block has kind of stayed as resistance. Now, whoa, that is pretty good, huh? So we kind of we had a previous, I don't even know what this is. I don't even think this is an order block. It's just a resistance point. So we had this square area or rectangle area of resistance. If I draw this dangerously across, we can actually see we just about entered it to the midpoint as well, and then came right back down. And I think we're still using our order block as resistance. Basically, midpoint being 51. It's basically the 51 to 52 area, or 51.5 to 52.5. We are now coming incredibly down, even below this resistance point. We are oversold. VWAP is coming up though, so damn, the money flow is terrible. I don't know why. But try and look at this. I mean, VWAP is really coming up, suggesting we should see some positive movement upwards. Last time we saw our momentum kind of reach this point and then go upwards, was kind of over here. We kind of just hovered. So similar to how this has happened with this, we kind of see really low money flow. VWAP is kind of still pretty active, but our momentum is kind of timid. If we go over here, our momentum seems like it's starting to round out and it's very timid. We could see, ourselves being range bound within this area. But, as I've said with pretty much every other coin, if we see upwards movement for Bitcoin and pretty crazy movement upwards, breaking above this price point wouldn't be something I would be surprised at. Probably reaching this next resistance point up here, which has seemed to be pretty consistent. And the same with Ethereum, same with Solana. Even if we did break above this resistance point as well, 2% movement upwards. So we've got about 2.5% move upwards if we do break this resistance point and stay above it. If we do not use this as resistance, we'll have this order block area as our resistance. So yeah, I think for the time being, we'll probably see some more downwards movement. Money flow is technically negative, but it's really just not moving. It's really not lining up with how Jupiter is moving, which is pretty weird. Maybe quickly looking at market cipher, we do have our EMA kind of being downwards here. So what I could see happening, trying to foreshadow the EMA movement, if we do stay above this resistance point, which we kind of have actually. To be fair, you know what? I'm going to delete this. We've wicked below this 3 times now, but we've stayed above it. So I think we actually might stay above this and come upwards. EMA is looking like we continue to move downwards. Now, by the time the price might meet the EMA, we'll probably be at the midpoint of this resistance point. So I think what we'll see for Jupiter, I'll just delete the whole thing, is this sort of action. Meeting the EMA and kind of bouncing off it at the midpoint, and then probably staying in this range here, which we've seen all the way over here. We've been in this range. Bearing in mind, looking at as I pointed out, looking at market cipher and seeing what sort of situation we're in, where we've got really low momentum, it's not really doing much. We've got money flow, which isn't also doing anything, and our VWAP just being who it is. Kind of going over here, VWAP is still going pretty crazy. Money is not doing anything, and our kind of momentum is kind of doing the same situation. So trying to kind of cast what's happened previously with what could happen now, I think a range situation could happen for Jupiter. About 2.5% range for Jupiter. So I think we might be range bound, but Bitcoin goes crazy, could break this and continue to go upwards using our order block as resistance. So yeah, I don't really think we're gonna have too crazy movement for Jupiter in terms of its percentage. I don't think we're gonna move like 5% this way, 5% that way, but I do think we're gonna be in this range. 2.5% is pretty good. Obviously, if you traded based upon that and did some 10x leverage, just some lower end leverage, 25% is still pretty good. Seems as though it's quite forecasted, but again, with how Bitcoin's going, it'd be I'd be worried to try and trade Jupiter, for example, or any of these other coins where they can move just too rapidly for anything to pay attention to. Based on how Bitcoin can just move to 69k and everything will just start to go upwards. So looking for shorts in this bull market situation right now, I'd rather look for longs and be pleasantly surprised than look for a short and be disappointed that the fact that everything's gone up. So I'd look for longs. I definitely look for longs considering what the market's in right now. So probably start looking for longs with maybe Jupiter. Obviously, maybe waiting till we print above this resistance point. Or this price point. It's not really resistance or support. If we do print above it and start to come upwards again, and our view up, and everything starts to push us upwards again, maybe look for a long if you were to trade Jupiter. So hopefully that kind of clears it up for Jupiter. Pepe. Yeah, I like Pepe. I haven't looked at Pepe. Let's see if it's like Pepe. Okay. Jesus Christ. What the hell? Pretty crazy. So how much have we moved? We've moved 140% within 2 days. That's crazy. Okay, so let's see with Pepe then. So we've hit this as I was point. Okay, we're kind of hovering with. What's nice is that with Pepe is it actually has respected EMA situation. So we see we've kind of actually used it as support. So I wouldn't be surprised. Again, I've said it again. I can't believe it. I'm trying to recognize a pattern. I don't really think there's anything. Could be like in a range. Draw this properly. Could be in a range. I think we might go upwards. Obviously, we are at the lower point of our EMA, so I wouldn't be surprised if we continue to go upwards again. Looking at market cipher, the up is starting to come upwards. Money flow is going downwards though, so that might suggest a negative range. Money flow is also momentum is coming down. But what I do say with, I think I said this quite a while ago when I kind of explained market cipher and how you should look at it. The money flow is kind of the trend of the market. V up is kind of the color of the candle, I suppose you could say, and the action of the momentum is the color of the candles of the movement. So as you can see, downwards movement of the momentum got negative candles in terms of it being actually red, and we're printing lower and lower. V up, obviously, if it's starting to go upwards, we should see our price start to go upwards in our candle. Momentum's going downwards. We are having, since our point. We've had a negative. Let me zoom in. We've had negative, movement in terms of our. Obviously, we had a quick movement upwards, so it was positive, but we're kind of in a range. Trying to read market cipher, it's kind of coinciding with the fact we're in a range. So I think we're kind of in this. I think it's a flag. I'm not really too caught up on candlestick patterns or chart patterns. I believe this is a bullish thing. I believe it's something like this. I can't remember how many bounces it needs to do. I think it needs to do 3. So it's like 1. I think it does that, maybe. Something like that. I'm not too sure. But, interestingly, the line of the pole of the flag comes directly to our lower end of our resistance point, which, 2% of adding 2% padding to any resistance point is something I like to do. I think it does justice when you actually look at things. Like things do actually respect the 2% padding more so than anything else. Like especially here, like you can see this padding is pretty crazy. We're bouncing off it. I like to add a 2% padding. Obviously, simple significance does it for me, but when I draw my support resistance, it does. Have a 2% padding whenever I try and look at it. So I can't remember if you go to the top or if you go from the bottom. I really don't know, but I'll draw it anyway. We could see some sort of action like this, but you know what? How many bounces is it? So it's okay. I don't really. I think I've kind of used. So okay, so what it looks like, so it goes one more time and then it goes up. So it goes like 1, 2, and then kind of does it again. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, and then we'll probably come up to the top again, about 3, 1, whatever, and then come down again to about 2, 8, 5, and then come upwards to our resistance point. That's if it follows this pattern. This kind of, I don't really look at patterns too much, but how do I draw a circle? I want to draw a circle. Actually, I'll just draw. You know what? I'll just keep it like this. There we go. That's pretty good. I like that. That works. Okay, there we go. So maybe that is tomorrow. It's tomorrow afternoon. could see Pepe come back up to its resistance point, which would give us a 25% move upwards. Obviously, if Bitcoin does something crazy, Pepe will probably follow suit. It seems though the fact that Bitcoin starts to do something crazy and we've moved up 140%. So it seems like it has quite a bit of an effect on the price. So yeah, I think this could be. I don't know what the percentage of the outcome of a chart pattern in terms of the bull flag. I don't know if it's like 66%. It might be. I know for penances, I think it's like 66%. So it might be the same thing for this. So we might see this action actually happen. Obviously 66%, but we could fall down again. But looking at EMA, it's basically hugging where we are right now. So we do have support with our EMA, which we haven't really seen with any of the other things. It's kind of been either really below our price point, or it's been like all the way over here. We hasn't really, we're too far away from our EMA for it to actually matter. In terms of Pepe, we're actually really, really close to our EMA, so it will actually help us stay above at this price point. So, I think that we could see some sort of 25% move upwards for Pepe. So I wouldn't be surprised if we have, a movement upwards. So if you were to buy, you could buy now. The difference is about 4%. It's pretty negligible, but you could see like a 20% move upwards for your price, or for your money. So that's pretty good, considering the fact there's no leverage on it. 20% is pretty good. But yeah, we do have downwards movement in terms of what we're looking at. We do have momentum and money flow. So we've kind of got it goes VWAP, then money momentum, then money flow, which is kind of how much it takes for them to actually change direction. So if our VWAP starts to go up and continues to go up, momentum starts to go up again, eventually, and then money flow, it'll probably take enough time for it to go upwards to there. Best sell off Pepe. Well, we're at a really high point. It depends on what you want to do. Right now, now we're really high. Depending on what I tell you, to be fair, if I didn't draw this chart pattern, we're still at our EMA point. And whenever we come to our EMA point, we've come to our EMA point, bounce up. Come to our EMA point, bounce up pretty crazy. Comes to the EMA point, bounce up crazy. We've come to our EMA point, but we are in a negative trend. So we're probably going to move up a bit more. So I think we're going to move up again, regardless of if I had, like I said, even if I didn't have Microsoft right now to show us the EMA, I think we're going to go up to this top range. Whether we actually shoot up, is a different story. But I would maybe hold on a bit. I would hold on. You could sell it at 311 and get an extra 5%, because I think we will move up to about 314, 315. But like I said, if we actually do, I think it's 66%. So if you don't want to take the gamble, probably sell there if you want to get it right now, or wait for it to maybe move up again to the resistance point. But that's kind of it's a chart pattern. Whether you have faith in chart patterns or not is your own opinion. I think it's about I think there's a figure which it says something like 66% of the time it moves up to the resistance point based on a chart pattern. So you could have potential of another 20% move upwards for Pepe. So if you want to hold on, that is I'm trying to give you the kind of situation we're in. Obviously, it is for everyone's own judgment if they want to trade on that based on my analysis or not. But none of this is financial advice. Quick segue into a disclaimer: it's not financial advice. You shouldn't trade based solely on what I'm saying. But that is kind of the situation with Pepe. So if you want to hold on for the chance of having another 20%, that is your call. But I definitely do think it will go up another 5%, 5%-ish, depending on where the price is right now. Web3 Superstar has come into the chat and said, "You want some secret alpha DJs? Give us the coin. Just give it us. All right, I want to go look at it. Just give me the coin." All right, it's been a bit dry today. Sometimes we'll normally get about 3 coins in the chat. I've still managed to somehow talk enough to give an hour stream, even though we've had significantly less coins. To be fair, it's only really been 2. We still have had 2 coins. So interesting. We've actually it's 10 o'clock now. We've printed. So let's. It's not like it's going to matter. It's only we've only printed 2 seconds ago, but we have printed above the resistance point. So I think we might move up for dupe. I'm not financial advice. I think we're going to move up. in dupe. So that, you know, I'm just giving you the chart. Okay? I'm not suggesting you buy. Obviously, I think we might hover, but VWAP is continuing to go upwards. It's still pointing downwards though. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, not financial advice. This is the chart. You know, okay, make your own judgment. Phantom has its own meme coin now called Phantom. Okay, is it? It's quite new. Is it? Is it quite new? Oh, early. Okay, so it's probably not gonna be on. It's not gonna be on TradingView or anything. Okay. Well, we could go look at it, I suppose. Let me go get the chart up. Is there a chart actually? I don't know how new it is. I'm doing it on another browser, so it doesn't like, you know, get anything on stream. There it is. Phantom USD. All right. So I don't like doing TA on these coins because if it literally came out today, there's literally no point in me drawing anything. Oh my god, what the hell? Oh, within today. So today is about. So this is 1 hour. Okay. So 28th and today's start here. So within today, yeah. Is this the right one, right? This is the right one, right? Looks like a safe bet for me. I mean, yeah, if it's their own coin, I mean, I wouldn't be too surprised. It's like, it's Phantom, like, I'm not gonna do T on this. There's literally no point. Nothing's gonna matter. There was some big buys around. That's pretty crazy. But yeah, like I said, I'm probably not gonna do any T on this because, like, what am I gonna draw? Oh, I think I'm seeing a flag here. I think we're gonna go up. Actually, I mean, are we? Nah, sure not, right? Surely there can't be any TA, right? Surely not. Surely I wouldn't find any sort of TA, right? No, I couldn't possibly draw TA on a meme coin. That'd be stupid, right? No, that'd be stupid, right? Yes, look, this is stupid. 280% more than that. Surely not. Yeah, that's stupid, right? Stupid idea. Yeah, I don't even know why I bothered drawing this. Maybe, you never know. I wouldn't. I mean, this is if it's Phantom's own coin. I mean, that's pretty crazy. I mean, I wouldn't, like you said, pretty safe bet for a meme coin. I think it is a pretty safe bet. But you know, it's going to move pretty crazy. But I mean, you know, it could move upwards. I don't really like drawing TA on these coins though, because it just never, because it's so early. Like, when did it come out? Like 2 days ago. Not even. Day and a half ago. No, 2 days ago. About 2 days ago, it's like, whew. But yeah, I'm not going to bother drawing to TA on this, even though I just did. Maybe there's FIB levels. It's quite hard to draw for these types. But the best we could probably do is do this. Again, I don't even know. Maybe I don't know. I mean, we'll come all the way back down to the thing. There's probably not going to be any futures on this because it's literally just come out. But yeah, so I'm not going to bother drawing. I'm going to close it all. But yes, Phantom, pretty interesting. It has within today. Obviously, this big wick happened, giving us about how much was it? That's stupid. Wait, what's the wrong way? I don't even I can't even fathom the numbers right now. Pretty crazy movement, even within about 2 days, day and a bit. So if you want to get on it, you know, come to Bird Eye, or go to wherever you can buy it. Maybe get a bit. I mean, putting a tiny bit of money. I mean, the kind of methodology is like you could put a tiny bit of money in, and then like $1, let's say, do 10 of them, and then like see if you can cover your losses with a big win. But this could be a big win. I don't know if it'll go as high as. I mean, I can't make any judgment on this. I know nothing about it. But if it's just a meme coin, then I don't know. It has to be a bit funny, but could be something to look into. Thank you for the absolute awesome alpha. Thank you. This is amazing. But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of just filling the air because we've got an hour and six. An hour and six. You know, it's not a bad stream. You know, I normally do an hour and 20, but you know, considering the fact got an extra coin or two, that'll add maybe 20 minutes. But you know, if no one has any other coins for me to cover, I mean, guess I'll just go then. I mean, I feel a bit like a puppy with its tail in its legs. I mean, I definitely feel like a puppy with its tail in its legs, under its legs, whatever you call it. Ignore that. I don't know what's happening. Just ignore it. Okay, let's just go over here. Super quiet. Why? Oh, you mean people suggesting? Right. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty quiet. I mean, yeah, but yeah, all of it's dead. Yeah. Hopefully I can say that word, but I don't know. Might have just lost the entire YouTube channel then. Sorry. Might have got us completely banned everywhere. I don't know if I can say that either. Oh my god. Do you know what? I'm not even going to think about platforms or anything right now. I think I'm going to dig myself in a deluxe family-sized grave for myself. Yeah, nobody's on. I mean, if no, I mean, I'm seeing a lot of USDT. I don't think I can do TA on USDT. Maybe I can. Watch, ready? Not really. Oh, let's go. Tether USDT. Okay. We can do TA on this maybe. Let's do some TA. I think we could put if you put a huge long in on Tether US, I think you might get a pretty good profit. We do got a resistance point on the USDT though, so be careful of that. We have been retracting quite a lot in terms of the dollar to the dollar, but we are heavily oversold for the dollar. I don't know what you're selling it for. You're selling it for dollars. I don't know what that is, but we've got positive money flow, positive view up, and positive movement of the money flow. So I'd put a long in on the USDT. So yeah, long the dollar, long the dollar. You make you a lot of money. But yeah, anyway, I'm not gonna joke around anymore. Okay. But yeah, for everyone who's saying USDT, there's the TA on it. I think we're gonna go up. Let me draw an arrow. There we go. I think we might break this resistance point for the dollar. We seem to have a consistent support resistance point for the dollar for the dollar here. So let me draw a line across quickly. So I'd pay attention to this. Obviously, we do have our EMA following us. But you know, if you longed, I'd love to get the percentage markup. There we go. You might get. There we go. See, just told you. There you go. I thought so. I thought it would wick up. It was about to be a about 3.6% long, but obviously we've just waked up. So anyway, I'm gonna stop now. It's stupid, but I don't think. I think that's pretty much it. I don't really think there's any other coins. I guess I'll just sit here. I don't really know what to do. I mean, obviously I can end the stream. It's been an hour and 10 minutes. It's been a pretty good stream. I suppose I could just bring the Bitcoin chart back up. We are staying on this support point for 60,000, as I thought. I don't know. I mean, I guess I'll just sit here. I mean, I always kind of have at least an hour and 20 minutes of the stream. I mean, it is my stream as well. I can do what I want. I guess I'll just sit here. I don't know. I mean, I feel a bit lonely and bland right now. Look, no other coins anyone wants to cover. No coins. You know, let me go check the certain blue place. Not that place. The other one. Wow, nobody, nothing. I feel alone right now. Jupiter when? I did dupe. I had to swiftly go off it because it started to go wrong. Yeah, I had to swiftly move on because it started to go down. But we've been staying above this support point for so long. So, but I'll go to when though. Is when on here? It is perfect. Oh yes, look at that. Okay, let's have a look. It's been going up pretty crazy. We've got a support point. That's good. We're bouncing off it. That's good. You know what? Going down. View up upwards. That's good. Money flow upwards. Good. Momentum. It's not too oversold. I could see it go back upwards again. We could see ourselves. I mean, there's either. Could see ourselves. I wouldn't be surprised if. Could have a positive movement, maybe to here. Give you about 7%. Let me put that there. Really good ratio, right? Where could you put this? Let's make it a 2 because it could move pretty rapid. There you go. That could be pretty good. Maybe coming to the bottom of this here. Obviously, it'd be great if you could come up here. It'd be another 15%, but that is the movement of, you know, throughout the day of being, you know, oh my god, Bitcoin's going up, I'm going to go up. Whee! So ignoring that. But other than that, I mean, I think like we could have a movement up. You know, if we stay above this price point, we do have our money flow and everything kind of going upwards. So I wouldn't be surprised when went back upwards again, but we've kind of been bouncing. You know, we've kind of been hovering. Everything's kind of hovering. We're kind of just having these, you know, spinning, what are they called? Spinning hammers or whatever it's called. The people who look at candlestick patterns. I swear, you know, at one point I was like, I should look at candlestick patterns, and then I never looked at candlestick patterns ever again, because it was like spinning doji hammer of justice or something. Like what? I don't know. I mean, maybe they're really good. I don't know. I never really look at candle patterns, but regardless, we could go back up. We could have an equal high, or height of the candle. Then we'd have an order block situation. We also try to see if there's anything. I mean, everything's moved so rapid. We've technically got, you know, a fair value gap here, but not really. I mean, I don't know. Do you know what? I don't know. I don't know where it's gonna go. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know. I think it might go up, but I don't know. Doge. Something on Doge. Have I drawn any recent? Whoa! What is that? You see that? That's crazy. See that again? That's pretty cool. Was that it? Is it gonna do it again? No? Wow. I want to do it again. That was awesome. Oh, no, you know what? No. I was gonna try and like find out how to do it again, but I'm not gonna do it. Whatever. Okay, Doge. I'm not gonna distract myself here. EMA is looking like it's starting to catch up a bit onto the price. Not bad, but you know, it's not anything like Pepe. Money flow heavy upwards. VWAP down, very bad, not good. But VWAP again, we're on the 1 hour. Money flow matter more. VWAP slightly less. I'm starting to lose my speech now. I don't know what's going on. Money flow go up, very good, very nice. Probably like a little thing here, you know, like a boom, 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 bounce, bounce, bounce. I think we go upwards, maybe. Yeah. I mean, I would be. Hopefully, I'm not saying anything too crazy. Maybe have 4% move upwards. Maybe try to get a good risk to reward ratio. Get 2%. Maybe on the bottom of that wick. 2.7 risk to reward ratio. That'll give you a 4% long. Money flow go up. Very overbought though. Very bad. Money go down maybe. Maybe we come back. You know what? We might come back to our EMA. Could have a short situation. Actually, better yet, maybe we have this sort of situation. Maybe a move downwards. Go to the highs of these wicks in case it wicks up. Actually, no. Go to this wick in case it wicks. Give you 1.5 risk to reward. Give you a 3.5% move down. Probably like an arcing bounce. Like a boom maybe, because you know heavily high money flow. Not momentum. Money flow is very high. If it starts to arc downwards, we're going to really fall. VWAP is also going downwards, so I could probably see a negative move for Doge. But if everything starts to go up, we're going to go up. I mean, you know what? I should get the soundboard and just record myself go. If Bitcoin goes up, we'll probably go up. And then whenever I need to say it, instead of me having to, you know, waste my oxygen and my vocal cords and everything, saying these words over and over again, I can just press the button and it'll happen. Yeah, so I think that's it for Doge. I mean, I think we could probably come down. I wouldn't be surprised if we came down to here. But again, I mean, you want to look for. We're so bull right now. You kind of want to look for longs more than shorts. And like again, I'll do a short and be sad because. So you know, but from what I'm reading, we should go down. But like I said. But this movement, 5 p.m. Like, actually, I don't know when Bitcoin was moving so crazy now. But yeah, I mean, I could see it moving downwards, but be careful. Obviously, things go up pretty rapidly. Where's my camera gone? Honestly, how long has it gone? Why did no one tell me? I'm disappointed. Did nobody feel like telling me that my camera just went off? Wow. Disappointed. Why's my camera off? It's just gone off. It's back. Why don't no one tell me my camera went off? I'm very disappointed. Honestly, I thought you guys were supporters. I thought you supported me whenever everything was happening, and now my camera's gone off, and no one decided to tell me. Ridiculous. We're on 15 seconds. Okay, that's not bad. Fine. I'll allow it. So maybe there's like a lag period, and no one knows. But I think we might go down for Doge, but I would rather be, I'd rather be, I don't want to be disappointed if you were to wake up and everything's, Bitcoin's gone up crazy and everything's gone up like it. But like I said, from what the data is telling me, the data could be wrong. Like I said, Mark Cypher doesn't know as much as we do. We could go down. But yeah, I'm gonna maybe quickly go look back at all the other things I was saying. We'll break that. It's fine. We'll come back down. Oh, EMA. Oh no. Why does everything is going wrong? Not everything's going wrong, but things aren't moving how I thought they'd move. I mean, to be fair, I did say we could have just invalidated it because we literally just wicked up completely. But I mean, last time this happened, we just came back down and used it again. So I think time will tell, but we are going pretty crazy. It depends on what Bitcoin. What's Bitcoin doing? Right, okay. So Bitcoin's going up. Right, okay. Yeah, I mean, we're kind of just using the 60,000 area as our support. We're slowly just coming down. So I guess we'll see. But I guess we'll see. I suppose I should probably end soon before more things start to not happen, and cameras go off and whatnot. So I think that's it for the stream. This, I mean, Phantom could be pretty good. I mean, the movement within today was pretty crazy. Wait, let me go from the start of the day again. I just wanted to see it quickly. Honestly, why can't anything just be easy? I just want to press a button and it be there. My percentage. There we go. What's that? 4,000%? Whatever that percent is. It's crazy percent, crazy money. Be careful though, because obviously, it could be it could be rapid. It might not move up all that much ever again. But considering the previous high points, we're having this kind of similar to how a flag occurs, where you have moving upwards and then steady moving downwards and then moving upwards again. Could see ourselves go back to the previous highs, which would give you 200% move upwards. Not financial advice. I wouldn't condone this. I don't want to condone anything, but it could happen. But that is, it's like sticks and stones and flint and sinew making a knife out of obsidian type of caveman stuff right here. It's not like I can have super money flow indicator which tell me, oh, buy here, sell here. It's like this is probably the action of the price. But if it is NAF, it'll just come right back down and never move ever again. But I'll have to do some research into it. And with these sort of coins, you need to do a bit more research. It's not just like you can just look at the price. It's not like a well-established coin or anything. But Bitcoin's kind of moving up pretty nicely. So I'm not surprised things are starting to go up as well. I mean, money flow is still kind of really positive. Time will tell. If Bitcoin, again, like I said, if Bitcoin really goes up, Bitcoin will really go up, and everything will start to really go up. But we've had like 4 consecutive really big candles going downwards. So like I said when I was covering Bitcoin, it's probably some time to move upwards to probably this previous price point. But that's it. I think that's it for the stream. There's quite a lot of people saying hello, so I don't know if this is when you've just joined the stream, but Dokul, Ruka, hello. Someone's also saying BNB. You're not getting any BNB. But yeah, I'm scrolling up. So hello to everyone. But that is it. I've covered most coins. Thank you for Kishan. Kishan, the real one, and Web3. Suggesting all the coins. Pepe, Doge, the other coin, and Dupe as well. From the person and when. You know what? To be fair, I've covered enough. Actually, I think I've covered enough. I've covered the majority of coins. I've covered a normal amount of coins that I would have covered on a normal stream, and it's about 1 hour and 20. So it's a normal stream. So obviously, people are probably people are probably too busy going out to the fancy lobster restaurant and spending a couple hundred, if not $1,000 on a lunch or a dinner, whatever times there are, because how much money everyone's probably made. So I'm not too insulted that no one's watching the stream. I mean, I don't know why they'd go and eat and waste money when they could gain money from watching the best TA person ever. That's it, ever, throughout the entire universe. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I don't have much more to say. Bitcoin, it's a wild bull with a red rag over its face, which is really, really, really angry. So I wouldn't stand in front of it, but if you want something powering, I'd put a rope around its neck and let it run off so it could power your generator or something. I need to go. I'm saying things. I'm filling air. I need to stop talking. Cheers, Oracle. All the best of facts, and catch you next time. Thank you, Salvatore. Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. I'm glad. I'm hopefully tier is good. We're going up for Bitcoin. I think we're going to start to see movement upwards. Obviously, we've just gone up 1%. Obviously, it's 1%. Bitcoin, 1% for Bitcoin is pretty crazy, especially within like a minute. I think we'll see some movement upwards, similar with how the arrows have. I think we'll see, it's like an arcing, bouncing off this point and probably coming back upwards towards this resistance point. So Bitcoin, like I said, Bitcoin starts to go up, everything's going to start to go up. So everything I've just said for now 20 minutes won't matter. But thank you so much for watching the stream, for joining me, spending all of your time or however long you've watched the stream. Thank you for spending it watching me on drawing things to many people online. It's a lot of people, so thank you all. And 100k, pretty crazy. You probably saw in the thumbnail. You will also see in the outro thumbnail. 100k followers across all the platforms. It's amazing. Thank you so much to each and every one of you who has followed us. So I do appreciate it. Saturday will be me and Mike in the office. It's Wednesday today. I don't do Fridays. I might do Friday. If something really crazy happens, I will stream Friday. If not, you'll see me on Saturday. But I don't really stream Friday because we do Saturday, so it's kind of a quick turnaround. But you will guarantee see me on Saturday with Mike on stream with my brilliant light. The light's here, but when it's placed correctly, changes people. It'll change your life using this light. And watching me and Mike and doing TA streams will also change your life. Not financial advice. Do not invest solely on my TA. I'm stopping. I'm gonna stop talking now. I need to close my mouth. Okay. Thank you. See you tomorrow. Well, the Mike will see you tomorrow. See you Saturday. So I just saw see you in the morning. It tricked me. Goodbye. Smash a like. Yes. Smash a like. Smash a like. Follow. Subscribe. Bells. Ding all the bells. Go to the description. Go to check the links out in the description. Firstly, obviously. There's a certain link with the program starting with T and ending in M. Click that one. That's the most important one, where me and Mike talk. Everyone is there. If you want any questions, any coins, it's easier if you post the coin in the trading area, so I can cover it for the stream rather than anything else. But if you want to ask me any questions, want any indicators, I'll post you the link to them. I'm stopping talking now. Goodbye.
Come on, Fizz.